to determine whether there's a correlation between GDP of a country and space exploration. So these are some articles related to space exploration and budget of countries, and they study three distinct hypotheses will be tested. So from 1957 to 2020, the total number of space launches, successful space launches, and failed space launches will be compared to respective countries' GDP. So these are the variables under my study. So for method and strategy, I plan to make two single interactive graphs using Plotly. But this gives you a rough idea of what I want to do for my visualization. My expected results is, so the will to explore space will not depend on the country GDP, but on the country's sheer interest to explore space. A null hypothesis will arise if the number of space launches is directly proportional to the country's GDP attributed to space exploration. So my expected benefits are quite interesting. So if my expected results turn out to be true, then that would mean that countries which thought that they would not be able to embark on space exploration because of budgetary reasons can take example of similar countries that despite limited financial resources, they were able to explore space. With more countries willing to explore space, this could mean a huge transformation in the life of humans. We could unveil the well-kept mystery of space. So these are some challenges I had to learn Plotly, and I had to learn how to make all the information available on a single graph. So this was my timing from midterm break to week 12. So these are my initial visualization. So this is the graph for space launch, and this is a graph for GDP observation. So there was a list of observations that were made from the two graphs. You can see here. These were some new challenges I faced. So in conclusion, it can be seen that a total of 15 countries were engaged in space exploration. USA and Russia have always been two giant powerhouses, and countries such as Japan, Israel, or South Korea has also attempted to join them. But from all of the above countries, Israel and South Korea stand out. At the time that Israel wanted to do space exploration, its GDP was 100 times smaller, and for South Korea, the GDP was 150 times smaller than that of USA. Israel was successful into launching Opec 1, but South Korea failed. Therefore, it can be concluded that countries with a modest GDP which are willing to explore space should follow the lead of Israel and South Korea. So these are my data sets, these are some resources, and thank you for your attention. So for the second part of the video, I will show how I did my visualization. So first I had to import my libraries, and then this code was used in order to access my JAWStudio account so that I could upload my visualization on the website. And now this here is the code to read the space launches CSV file and then to plot the graph. Then the GDP file was read into Python, and the relevant countries that are relevant to my studies, that is countries involved in space exploration, was sorted out. And then it was plotted here, the data was plotted, and then when you run that cell, it will bring you to two new tabs, this one and then this one. So in Space Launch, you can just click on play, and then it will play giving you information about space launches from 1957 to 2020. And if you want it to stop playing, you can just press on here, and you can put your cursor in order to know whether there has been a mission success and how many mission success. You can do that for Israel. You can see here there's a failure. And then here is the GDP of countries. You can see again there's a slider, and then you can play, you can pause, and there is information about the GDP data when you put your cursor on a particular bar chart. So yeah, so the main point was that you can just play and then stop, put your cursor there, know how many counts there is, and yeah, that's it for my visualization. Thank you.